Hey guys and gals, Gunty time here, and today I'm making a video I don't really want to make because I really like Mutahar slash Someordinarygamers. I really want to like his content. I've been a fan of his for a very long time. When him and Carl Jobst were doing that completionist expose and revealing all that fake charity stuff, that was a really awesome arc, and I really felt like Mutahar was coming into his own as a YouTuber, but as of late, man, it just kind of feels like he's fallen off. If you don't know, recently the Switch 2 was released, the new gaming handheld console, and Mutahar had put out a bunch of videos basically saying that he wasn't going to buy it, that it really wasn't a good value, and that it shouldn't be something purchased, and then went on to then purchase the Switch 2, despite saying he's not going to do it and putting out a bunch of videos talking about how you shouldn't do it and making money off videos, trying to clickbait people into not getting the Switch 2 and riding the Switch 2 hate, and then immediately flip-flops and then tries to ride the wave of all the Switch 2 love. And it would be one thing if he put out a video being like, yeah, I said I wasn't going to get the Switch 2 because I wanted to ride the Switch 2 hate train. But after looking at the specifications and all the features it has and all the things coming to the Switch 2 and its performance or whatnot, I eventually decided that yes, I'm going to get the Switch 2. But no, he was just kind of like, get bent. I got a Switch 2, deal with it. And it was quite clear that he was just trying to ride the wave and monetize this whole topic as much as he possibly can. And my problem is this is just kind of part of a greater behavior of his in which he just kind of flip-flops on tons of issues. He's constantly like, oh, I don't want to get involved in drama. I just want to talk about internet stuff, Linux, and video games. I'm not into all of that. But then a juicy piece of drama comes out, or there's a big scandal on YouTube or the greater internet as a whole, and then immediately Mutahar has to rush in and make a video. And he's always like, oh, I want to leave Twitter, but then he's also kind of constantly stalking Twitter all the time and clearly going on Twitter. And this flip-flopping, I mean, people change their minds. They change their opinions. But usually people will give some nuance as to why they changed their opinion. Not just immediately flip-flop to the other thing and pretend like they didn't just say that, 20 minutes ago. And ultimately, I think he just can't help himself. He sees the potential. I mean, he's been on YouTube forever. He's grown his channel from nothing into a very big part of the internet ecosystem, and the monetization he probably gets on YouTube is pretty crazy, and he's got tons of fans. People tune in at every video he makes. And so he has a great idea of the algorithm. So I think ultimately what he sees a prime piece of meat out there, something that's going to do so well in the algorithm, he can't hold himself back. He can't not make a video because he wants to hit that 1 out of 10 in YouTube Studio. And hey, yeah, that is kind of the game, but I always felt like Mutahar was a little bit above it. He always presented himself as not your average slop tuber, but as someone who puts time and effort and thought into his takes and does all this research, and like the Carl Job stuff, goes above and beyond when it comes to just making slop videos. And I'm sure some people are like, Gunty, this is like a ridiculous terminally online video. Why are you even making this? Whatever. So what? He bought a Switch and he dabbles in drama from time to time, even though he says he's going to leave it and never do it again. The problem for me is his whole channel are his takes, especially about video games. All Mutahar is takes. There's no greater production value really in his videos. He's not going and doing man-on-the-street interviews. He's not making skits. He's not doing like detailed reviews of like tactile IRL things. He's just sitting in front of his webcam and talking. Everything is the take. So when you are producing videos where you don't really have takes, when you have shown that you don't really have an opinion outside of just making videos that are going to hit the algorithm, well, no one's gonna care about what you're producing, and you start to lose all that credibility. And I just feel like Mutahar has completely fell off in terms of his credibility on YouTube. And I'm not making this video to like crucify Mutahar or say, hey, go out, unsubscribe from Mutahar, give him hate, destroy his channel. Now this video is more of just me saying, hey Mutahar, take a break from a video every once in a while. You don't have to publish a video on everything you think is going to do well in the algorithm. Make cohesive takes, and if you are going to change your mind on an issue, make a nuanced video explaining why you did it instead of just being like, I wanted the money. Because I think he has good takes. Most of the time, Mutahar is saying stuff I 100% agree with. Granted, is a lot of that just kind of the fence sitting that most commentary slopper YouTubers like myself do? Yeah, but for the most part, I think that his logic generally tracks on most issues, and I think he presents them in entertaining ways. The problem is when he just posts these videos to shill out because he wants to hit those monetization metrics. And another thing I don't really like on the internet and YouTube as a whole is using Lawfare and weaponizing lawsuits against other YouTubers. I understand that it has a place in defamation cases and whatnot, and so I'm kind of mixed when it comes to the lawsuits themselves. But I ultimately really hate when YouTubers threaten to sue people and then just never do it. They put out a video talking about all the stuff they're going to do to sue someone, and then they never actually go through with it, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's just very cringe to me to like puff out your chest and be like, I'm coming for you, bro. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to take you to court. I'm going to take everything you have. And then proceed to just go back to sitting at your computer and not doing anything. Like, it bothers me. And he threatened to, Mutahar, if you don't know, threatened to sue Noah Samson. And I've not seen anything confirming or denying whether or not he actually went through the process of suing Noah Samson. Now, granted, could that be just some kind of behind the scenes thing? Yes, and legal advice might be telling them not to talk about it, but I feel like we would have heard something about it. All we really know is that Mutahar threatened to do it, but nothing has happened since, I don't think. At the end of the day, I really just want Mutahar to do what he says. I want him to stick to just giving out good gaming takes, talking about technology, IT world stuff, how to, set up a Linux server or whatever his, deep dive videos are, his dark web exploration videos. I think that's fantastic for Mutahar. I think when he tries to step into this world of just trying to follow the algorithm or diving into drama he's not well versed into, I think he can't exist in that world. He doesn't have the speed. He's not Turkey Tom. He's not Leafy. I don't think he can handle the criticism and put out consistent takes in that area. But like I said, I think a lot of his gaming and technology stuff is really good. And I think for the most part, that's what most people want to watch his videos on. And I think all he has to do is just not immediately go against what he said and bloviate about how this is what's good for the gaming industry and then completely doing a 180. But anyway, this video has been long enough. I just wanted to share my thoughts on some things I had been seeing about one of my favorite creators and how I feel like they're kind of on a downward spiral, and I just feel like they could really easily course correct into making something really awesome. And again, I don't want this to seem as some kind of like mega hit piece. I just want to point out some things I'm seeing and maybe offer ideas on how to like correct. Like ultimately, I just think if you just not post every single video you think is going to do well in the algorithm is a type of behavior that will help you stop from doing a lot of this flip-flopping stuff and a lot of the inconsistencies in your takes. But this has been my video. If you like this stuff, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to see more. If you didn't like this video, make sure you leave a dislike and a hate comment. It helps me out in the algorithm, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.